Welcome back to another video, guys. So yeah, today we're going to be working on the Red Clio today, and yeah, we're just going to get basically working on the rear chassis leg from where we picked off from before, or left off from before. So yeah, we've got this bit here, and this is where all the rot mainly was, and as you can see, I've put like that anti-rust inhibitor all over this. So I've left this probably for about a week or so now, and it seems to have done the trick. It's sort of treated a lot of the material around here and hopefully made it a lot stronger. We've got this rotten piece here, and then we've got a couple of rotten bits here, and then just in the far corners as well there's a little bit of rust here. But like I say, we're going to clean all this back. I've got a piece of box section there, so it's a 100 by 50 box section by 3mm thick, and we're just going to lop probably a little bit more out of this, clean up to this edge here. So we'll just get rid of this this rough edge here and just work along here, clean up this edge, make sure it's nice and square, and then we're going to trim that piece of box there to match this piece here, weld it in, and then what we're going to have to do is I believe there was a hole for the reserve fuel tank filler neck, so I'm going to have to sort of put that in once I've got this piece up, hold it there with some magnets, and then mark it, and then that'll show us where the brackets are for this. So you've got one here, and you've got one just on the back, just there. So we need to cut those off because they're completely rotten and rusted. So we're going to put new bolts in, cut these off, and go from there basically. So I'm going to start that first, get that ready, and then we'll start cutting that box section up and getting that mounted, and clean up the bit on the car as well. So that's the back end of it there, which is pretty nasty. What I've got is I've got some 5mm plate I'm going to stick behind here so that we've got a nice solid edge to work against. So I'm going to fill this bit with 5mm plate, and then we've got, like I say, something nice and solid to weld to that we don't burn through. And then this piece is nicely reinforced because you can move most of this sheet metal with your bloody hands. So so yeah, we're going to go with that and go from there. So I'll show you bit by bit, and we'll try and do it in stages. So So yeah, we've managed to get those bolts cut off, so that's what it looks like. So there's one there that's come out a bit messier than the other one. So we've got one there, and then we've got one just on that tab there basically. So yeah, that's stage one, like I said. So we're going to stick some new bolts and washers in that, so they're the mounting points for the reserve fuel tank. Then I've cleaned up a bit of the metal that's back here, so you would have seen there. So I cleaned up some of this lip and cleaned out some of the rot that's in that corner. Just going to get the sanding disc on the grinder now, clean up all this edge, and that'll give it a good start to sort of stop it rusting. So we've got some bare metal, and then I've gone and bought some supplies, and we've got, it's over here, so we're using Tiger Seal as our sealant, so that won't be in this video, but I've got some anyway. I've gone and bought some acid etch primer, so that'll stop any like rust coming through on the bare metal. And then we got some weld through primer as well, so we can spray that inside the box so it'll protect it. And then to go over the whole lot, we've got some more underbody seal Waxall. So we've got 2 cans of those. There's another one somewhere around here. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, this one's slightly different. So that's underbody seal, this is stone chip shield. I think it's exactly the same stuff. It's just this one's a lot older. I bought this like 3 years ago. Does the same job anyway, so it stops any rust and stone chips getting in and any water regressing into the seals. So that'll seal it up, and then go over with the Tiger Seal, like I say, to clean up any sheet metal, so clean up any of these seals, and I'll just go around all of them, clean them all up so that water can't get in there anymore, and repeat this process and rusting it again. So yeah, that's where we're at, and like I say, I'm probably going to clean up that, yeah, get the box section ready for that. I'll give this a quick measure, and then we can mark it out on the steel that I've got there. I've got 2 of them, so we'll do the other one at some point as well. We'll get this one cut out and redone, because that one's not, it's better, much better than this one, but you can see that it's, if I leave it much longer, you know, maybe a year or so, that one will probably be not far behind. So I want to get all this cleaned up. Like you can see there, it's all pretty crusty along this edge. I understeeled all this already, but I just need to clean it all back and do all this again, so it can last a few more years now. Guys, so it's been about 10 minutes or so, and yeah, we've got the die grinder out on the compressor there, and then what I've been doing is just cleaning up this area and trying to sort out this piece here. So I've cleaned up the seam sealer. Then what I'm going to do is, I've cleaned up most of this from what I can. I'm just going to weld inside all of this to try and fill in some of the gaps and try and join some of the sheet metal together. I know it's not looking the best, but I'm going to spray it with some weld through primer, and that should clean up some of the edges and stop it rusting. And then just lay some welds down, and then we'll start cutting some plates up and trying to get fitting into these this area here, so we can reinforce all this and that, cover that hole. So we've made a bit of progress. So like I say, we've kept clean this area. We've put a weld on this seam here, so that's all clean. That's got some rust through primer on that, and this is all rust through primer on here, weld through primer, sorry. And yeah, so what we've been doing is we've been making a bracket up. So we've got this plate here that's coated on one side, so it will go up that way. There we go, that will go there basically, and that will patch that hole there. I'll tack that in, and then from above we'll get some of that tiger seal, and we'll just seal all the crevices so it can't leak in through the boot underneath, and around these edges as well we'll just seal it all in. But that's to fill in the bulk of the hole basically. It's never going to look fantastic and really neat and such, but it's you know, it is just a track day car at the end of the day, and this is just to sort of clear up some of the rust and stop it spreading basically. So yeah, this will do the job for now, and like I say, that plate's all ready to go. We'll tack that in, then we'll get another one made up on this face, and then we'll get the box made up ready for the rest of this section here along this edge, and then hopefully that most of that's done then. Right guys, so we've moved on a little bit, we've got some work done, and what I've basically done is I've welded in that plate just there. I know it's not exactly the cleanest, but it's strong and it's holding. So what we're going to do is obviously afterwards we're going to tiger seal around this edge, seal it in, and we'll do it from the inside as well. So what I've done now is I've got a plate to go up against this. I've marked it out so that it goes around this lip this piece and this, and hopefully it tucks up really nice against this inside edge. And yeah, I'm just going to cut that out now. Okay guys, so yeah, excuse the dirty face. I have been doing quite a lot of work on this, and it's quite messy work. So yeah, so this is the plate I've got, and then it is 5mm thick. So, and then ignore the holes, they're not for anything, it's just something I got hold of. And the top notches I've done there, that goes around all the panels at the top. And then what I've had to do is, because it's obviously very difficult to fold this, the sort of trick to sort of folding steel like this, put a cut line down where you want the fold, and then that weakens the steel, but don't go all the way through. So you can see it broke a little bit there, but other than that, yeah, that's the best way to fold it. It just needed a slight fold on it, so you can see there, just a slight fold, and enough so that I can do this, and then that just tucks up in there like that. And then all I've done is I've marked it on the back, so that gives me a cut line, so I know to cut to the bottom of this. So that's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to weld to that plate I've previously put in just there. That'll tack it in, and then we can weld it to the back of this and anywhere around it, because a lot of this you won't see it because the bumper's in the way. And then what we'll do is, because we're happy with that now, that placement, that gives it a good strong base and something thicker to weld to for the rest of the chassis leg. So that's now flush, flat as well, which just makes it a lot easier in general, welding to something flat and something that's a lot stronger. So that's really good, and then that'll reinforce all this metal at the back as well and give it a good bit of strength behind it. So like I say, I just need to cut that out now, and then that'll follow the lines of the car. Alright guys, so a little bit more of an update, bit of progress. So again, we've just been doing some welding, cutting and adjusting that plate. So I've been hammering this this part flat, and then just put a couple of beads just in here, just try to tidy it up. I know it's not fantastic. And then this plate I managed to get bent and welded into place, so it's looking really smart now. Welded the centre where we'd cut it to get the fold, and then just welded along this seam here to give it some strength, and then we welded back towards the original plate here that was on the first one. So we've just tacked them two together, tacked them on the back as well, and then yeah, we've got a nice straight edge and a thick piece to work to when we put the chassis leg in here. And that's about it really guys. So yeah, if you like the video, don't forget to leave a like, and subscribe if you're new around here. And like I say, there's plenty more to come of this kind of thing. And yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.